coming up next on News at Noon. Some families in Ohio are adjusting to a recent order that sets new guidelines for childcare to operate during the pandemic. And find out how restaurants are stepping up to provide food for community members in need. News at Noon starts now. Good afternoon, I'm Ryan Green. Daycare centers are among the thousands of businesses upended by COVID-19 and the government's response to it. News at Noon reporter Vince D'Amico spoke with one daycare director who says the problem is serious, both for her employees and parents using the service.
COVID-19 has already shut down bars and restaurants, and now Governor Mike DeWine decided it would be best if daycares shut down statewide as well. His executive order grants certain daycares temporary pandemic child care center licenses and allows them to remain open. Those not receiving a license will be closed until the governor rescinds the order.
Today we had 19 children.
Gina Pendleton is a director at Gingerbread Academy, a daycare that normally has 130 children enrolled. Gingerbread did not get one of Governor DeWine's pandemic licenses. Pendleton spoke with the parents of the children still attending Gingerbread as of Monday.
The families will have to find a licensed pandemic center. Some of them will also be non-essential, so they will just be staying home with their parents, as the other children already are. Others will find private people to watch their children.
Employees at closed daycares will have to file for unemployment until their daycares can return to normal day-to-day operations. Reporting for News at Noon, I'm Vince D'Amico in Blue Ash.
Several daycare facilities across southern Ohio have been approved for the pandemic license, but they're approved to operate only on weekdays, and only 6 children are allowed in one room. Children of essential staff are being prioritized for enrollment at these daycare centers. This includes healthcare workers, first responders, and other essential service workers. Students were not only ready to head back to classes, but for many also back to work on Ohio University's campus after spring break. But COVID-19 made that a pipe dream. News at Noon reporter Jacob Murray dives into how these students are adjusting to being without a job.
When the news came down from the top that colleges and universities would have to switch to online courses for the rest of the semester, of course, there were some unhappy students. They would no longer be going back to their college lives and seeing their friends for a whole semester. But like millions of Americans around the country, one worry some students had on their mind is their source of income, their on-campus jobs.
Ohio University has asked schools and departments to give student workers tasks that can be done from home. Other student workers, such as those in the dining halls, have the chance to apply for other work that can be done off campus this week. Some students still remain concerned, as senior Joe Hennessy uses his job to pay for rent.
It is a minimum wage job. There's not a whole lot that comes with it, but it's enough to get you through. And now that that's gone, it's kind of struggling to even buy groceries.
Other students living off campus use the extra money to buy groceries. Junior Jackson Hughes thinks students living off campus should see this as an opportunity to keep the population safe.
We have like 2 to 3 families per tour, so that's about 9 people per tour. And obviously that's not a good number of people to be together during this time. So yeah, I'd say it definitely is beneficial.
With the CDC and the government of Ohio continuing to crack down on certain lines of work to stop the virus's spread, online resources from habcap.org could help you still find a way to pay for the bills that don't stop for any virus.
And everyone remains in the waiting game for until they could start working again. For News at Noon in Athens, I'm Jacob Murray.
Many students who can work online have been notified as of Monday. Ohio University continues to update information for students at ohio.edu/coronavirus. GE Aviation is cutting 10% of its workforce. Cincinnati Public Radio reports about 2,600 jobs will be lost in the southwestern Ohio area. The chairman and CEO also announced they would be canceling raises and introducing a hiring freeze. After an order from Governor DeWine, these employees are now entitled to unemployment benefits. His order expanded these benefits while the state is under a state of emergency. This means employees who are laid off because of COVID-19 and the response can apply. Anyone in mandatory quarantine can also apply for unemployment. The governor's order closing bars and restaurants has also left waitresses and other restaurant workers without an income. Their bills, however, still keep coming, and that's causing more than a little anxiety. News at Noon reporter Molly O'Brien learns how people are coping.
People, but older than me, who have young children, they either have to work to make money to pay a babysitter, or because children aren't in school, or they have to pick up extra shifts that no one's giving up because they're struggling to pay rent, or they're living paycheck to paycheck.
Jensen Minardi was a part-time waitress at Arthur's in Cincinnati. She said she got an email from her boss following Governor DeWine's order closing dine-in restaurants.
So he said he couldn't give us hours at this time, and he's very sorry, and he basically told us how to file for unemployment too.
That order says restaurants and bars can be open for carry-out and delivery only. As a result, unemployment cases have skyrocketed in the past week, according to Governor DeWine and Ohio's unemployment website. Still, Minardi says she considers herself lucky because her parents help her out. Both Kroger's and Walmart, however, have created jobs during this time due to such high demand for groceries and other staples.
If you or anyone you know need information on filing unemployment, visit unemployment.ohio.gov. For News at Noon, from Cincinnati, Ohio, I'm Molly O'Brien.
The governor is limiting prescriptions of 2 drugs after tweets from President Trump increased their popularity. Chloroquine and hydroxychloroquine are used for malaria, lupus, and rheumatoid arthritis. Now, the drugs may also be used to help treat COVID-19. Prescriptions will be limited to a 14-day supply and will require a doctor's diagnosis to prevent stockpiling. Many health professionals across Ohio are offering telehealth appointments. This includes teletherapy. One licensed therapist says the appointments are basically a video call between a therapist and a patient. She encourages everyone to seek help if they need it. Local Athens businesses like Brennan's Coffee are stepping in and distributing free lunchboxes to all those in need during the pandemic. News at Noon reporter Hardika Singh tells us how the giveaway works.
Children and the elderly continue to be at a high risk for the pandemic as it spreads around the country, causing people to hoard food essentials such as milk and bread. With the help of a donor, brands can provide gallons of milk and loaves of bread, free of cost to the elderly who are unable to buy it themselves.
So it's kind of a win-win. We actually get a little bit of benefit out of it because it helps support our business, but then the community gets the most benefit out of it because it's free lunches for people that need it.
Brennan's free meal box plan, milk and bread, ensures that the most vulnerable people in the community don't go to bed hungry.
Other people in the community have seen this on Facebook and have contacted us and said we would also like to donate money to buy lunches that can just be dispersed to people in need.
People can go up to the counter to receive the free meal box. All they have to do is ask. Brennan's employees will bring one of the lunch boxes from the many stored in the fridge and provide it without any questions asked. Brennan said they will continue to support all residents as long as supplies last. They encourage people to gather supplies for their neighbors and friends. Reporting from Athens County for News at Noon, this is Hardika Singh.
Other businesses like Avalanche Pizza and the OUN and Conference Center are also providing free meals. A Cincinnati-based company is feeding its employees and giving business to another Ohio company. The Columbus Dispatch reports Kroger ordered enough Donato's Pizza to feed its 12,000 Central Ohio employees. In an Instagram post, Donato says the order was the largest they've ever had. That's all for News at Noon today. Be sure to check out woub.org for more information about COVID-19. And tune in to News at Noon next week for continued coverage of the impact in Southern Ohio. Stay safe, everyone.